Everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Man, I am absolutely thrilled about what we're covering today because we're going to unlock a process that honestly used to require a massive team and a six-figure animation studio budget. Today, we're talking about how literally anyone, yes you, can build a highly lucrative kids YouTube channel using the latest generation of AI tools. We're going to break down the strategies, the exact software stack, and those secret workflows that take you from a totally blank screen to a broadcast-quality animated series. Let's get into it.
So, let me just ask you right off the bat, are you ready to become a studio director using literally nothing but the laptop sitting right in front of you? Because I'm telling you, the old barriers to entry, they've completely vanished. If you have an idea, you've got what it takes. But you absolutely do need the right roadmap, right? Otherwise, it is so easy to get completely lost in this huge sea of AI tools out there.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the Explainer today. 1. The kids' YouTube boom. 2. Winning channel ideas. 3. The character drift problem. 4. The AI animation workflow. And finally, number 5, perfecting audio and voice.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the kids' YouTube boom, a highly lucrative and rewarding niche.
You know, the children's content market is just massive. And the crazy part? You don't even need long-form videos to capture a piece of it. Just look at global phenomenons like the Kids Diana show. I mean, they started with really simple family-friendly vlogs and just exploded into this massive global children's entertainment brand, eventually hitting a staggering 100 million subscribers. The scale of the audience here is just off the charts, and their appetite for new content is basically endless. And take a look at this number, 90%. For major channels like Ninja Kids TV Portuguese, about 90% of their traffic comes strictly from YouTube Shorts. Think about that. It proves that short-form vertical content isn't just some little add-on. It is a massive, primary driver for discovery and rapid channel growth. If you can design content that's fast, highly repeatable, and visually engaging, it translates perfectly to this format.
Moving right along to Section 2, winning channel ideas. What works best in 2026?
So before we even think about touching a piece of animation software, we absolutely need a winning concept. Because look, the greatest AI tools in the world, they aren't going to save a boring story. We need ideas that kids will actually want to watch, replay, and engage with. Here are 6 proven channel niches that are just dominating right now. You've got family vlogs, which are huge because they provide warmth and relatable fun. You can explore travel and unusual places, do simple DIY home design and crafts, review the latest kids' gadgets and toys, or run sports and workout-along videos. And of course, Shorts-first challenges are a goldmine. What the biggest channels out there teach us is that simple concepts, repeatable formats, and steady consistency almost always outperform random, chaotic creativity. So pick a lane and just own it.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that massive 15% share gaming holds on the platform. It's a huge community for sure. But that also means if you choose to go the video game animation or gaming review route, you are stepping into a highly competitive arena. You absolutely must find a totally unique angle or a very distinct visual style if you want to stand out from that crowd.
And that brings us to Section 3, the character drift problem, the fatal flaw of AI animation.
Speaking of distinct visual styles, I want to introduce you to the central villain of our story today. Meet character drift. This is basically when an AI-generated character's face, their outfit, their hair, or even their age just changes randomly between scenes. Guys, character drift is the ultimate enemy of storytelling. I mean, think about it. If your main protagonist morphs into a completely different person every 5 seconds, kids are going to immediately tune out. You don't have a show at that point, you just have a bunch of random, confusing clips.
Which brings us to a really critical comparison. On the left, we've got the old, super frustrating way, the AI-first video lane. This is where you just throw text prompts directly at a video model and hope for the best. The result? Characters morph randomly, it's chaotic, and there's absolutely zero continuity. But on the right, we had the empowering new method, the hybrid keyframe lane. Over here, characters stay perfectly consistent, the content is story-driven, and most importantly, it is highly editable.
So, the crucial point here is establishing what we call an identity anchor. An identity anchor is pretty much your secret weapon. It's a locked character identity, basically a dedicated asset pack of poses and expressions created in a tool specifically built for consistency. By establishing this anchor first, you prevent character drift way before you even begin the video generation process. You're basically giving the AI a strict visual reference that it has to stick to.
All right, let's get to the fun part. Section 4, the AI animation workflow, from inspiration to final execution.
Now that we know exactly how to defeat character drift, let's look at the actual production phase. This is your hybrid playbook, and it breaks down into 4 really structured, manageable steps. Step 1, create that identity anchor so your character is totally locked. Step 2, build an asset pack, meaning you generate the various poses and facial expressions your specific story needs. Step 3, take those still keyframes and animate them using a motion generator. And finally, Step 4, add professional audio to really bring the scene to life.
Now, to actually pull this off, you need the ultimate AI tool stack. For steps 1 and 2, establishing those identity anchors and consistent characters, tools like NeoLemon and LongStories.ai are absolutely your heroes here. For step 3, motion generation, you're going to feed those consistent images into Runway or Luma Dream Machine to get that production-level cinematic movement. If you're doing 3D avatars or maybe some dancing clips, Creaky AI is your go-to specialist for that. And for audio synthesis in step 4, 11 Labs is basically the industry gold standard right now.
But hey, remember this golden rule? Fast AI character generation actually matters more than raw quality. Why? Because iteration speed dictates your creative output. Tools that can whip up character assets in literally seconds allow you to experiment, tweak poses, and truly think like a studio director. It's way better than just sitting there waiting around and feeling like a frustrated prompt engineer, right?
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, Perfecting Audio and Voice, the secret to professional animation.
This brings us to the final and honestly the most underrated step of the entire production process. Just look at this quote because it perfectly captures a stark reality in filmmaking. A viewer will tolerate slightly imperfect animation if the voice acting is compelling, but won't tolerate perfect animation with dead audio. It's so true. Visual perfection literally means nothing without the emotional, presence-building power of sound design. Dead, silent AI footage, it just feels kind of eerie. But rich audio, that makes it a real movie. So to elevate those silent video clips, you need 4 essential audio elements. First up, character, voice, and dialogue. You gotta give your protagonist a real personality. Second, room tone and ambience. Think like a humming spaceship or a breezy park. That makes the world actually feel real. Third, drop in 3 to 6 key sound effects per scene. You know, simple things like footsteps or a door closing. And finally, an emotional music bed to set the mood. Using a tool like 11 Labs, you can synthesize all of this and instantly transform a flat visual into an incredibly immersive experience. Wow, okay. So we've covered the explosive kids market, the winning channel ideas, how to defeat character drift with identity anchors, the complete tool stack, and of course, the magic of audio. You now have the exact blueprint that used to cost millions of dollars sitting right there at your fingertips. So I'm going to leave you with this final question. What story are you going to bring to life today? Go build your asset pack, start generating, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.